Hello everyone, welcome to ABI-DOS? ABI-DOS? I don't know. ABI-DOS? I say DOS because I think this game is made by a Spanish-speaking developer. At the start of the game you can choose English or Spanish, and some of the stuff in game looks like it was originally in Spanish and was translated. Anyway. So I don't know how to say the name of the game. But I'm back. If you don't follow the channel regularly, you don't care about this tiny little update, but for anyone who does watch these videos live, I haven't had any videos out for like 3 weeks. My winter vacation dragged out longer than expected, and it was expected to be a sort of long one. I'm back, and while I was out, I saw that this game was released for free. So thanks to the developer of this for making it free. And to Google, I don't even know what part of Google it is that recommends stories to me and is always telling me about cool happenings on Steam. And it said, hey, there's a game came out that you might like. I was like, you're right, I did. Actually, I think this came out in November, and I'm just now finding out about it. But anyway, whatever. This is a game in the Zack-like genre of games for engineers, I guess. It has good reviews, and we're gonna give it a try. Anything else to say? I played through the first level just to get some understanding of how it works and get the game capture set up properly, but then I was able to delete my save file, so we're starting from the beginning. All you've missed right now is the language selection screen, so let's read the little introductory text, which doesn't seem at all related to the content. I mean, I don't know. It's thematic, I guess. Across time, humanity has sought to comprehend the vast universe, an innate quest within their essence. The deeper they explored the cosmic mysteries, the more enigmatic they seemed, as if resisting understanding. I guess here the first they is humanity and the second they is cosmic mysteries? Okay. Could use a little cleaning up. I shouldn't copy edit, but I just can't help it. Without the right tools, human minds and lifespans were too limited to fully grasp the enormity beyond. And I think this is an error that I make in my speech, or until recently did. I mean, you don't say enormity very often, right? But enormity sounds like it should mean enormousness. But if you look in a dictionary, I think, let me go check actually. It doesn't mean that. Okay, it's been used that way enough times that they put it into the dictionary. But enormity often means immoral, outrageous, monstrous. So, okay, fine. That's not what they mean here. I think they just mean large. Undeterred by this challenge, they persevered and produced an unexpected instrument. With superluminal computers, humans were closer to unraveling this unreachable cosmos. How far could these machines go? They were programmed by humans, after all. ABI-DOS. I think it really should be DOS, except it could be DOS because it's Spanish, like I said. I don't know. So, okay, they have a thing. That's right. The software is speaking to me. Welcome, engineer, to a transformative journey. As we pioneer a technology poised to revolutionize the world, we introduce ABI-DOS, the cutting-edge interface for superluminal computing. The chief architect left us engineers with a machine that operates in a strange language. Your task is to innovate and address these initial segments, constructing the original database with a vision of simplicity and elegance. Quit this window and press start. I have to say, these two sentences don't, mean anything. I don't know. Construct a database with a vision of simplicity and elegance. I don't know, man. But okay. We're programming for noble causes to broaden the horizons of humanity, I guess. So yeah, we're supposed to start on Signal Duplicator here by clicking start. And, this looks like a Zack-like game, right? Ooh, Alt makes those things. Oh, right, I know. I keep, I'm running this full screen, and I keep wanting to go check my recording software and just make sure everything's looking okay. And it is. I don't need to go keep looking. Whatever. So, they have a tutorial walking you through things, but basically, well, I only did the very first level, so I don't know how to I can distill my understanding of what they taught me, which is not much. Ports are like where inputs and outputs happen, and I bet some other kinds of ports will exist, because right now these are ports 0 and 5, input and output. I imagine there's going to be a port for like turning on the laser or something. Who knows? And data UBITs will go through our machine. So, like for this problem, as is traditional in games of this sort, I wonder why it highlights like this. Interesting. Our goal is just to copy the input to the output, and then we'll learn how to do more interesting things. So this port 0 will be our input, port 5 will be our output. And we'll be placing down little machines that the UBITs can go through, and when they go through the machines, those machines do something, and the machines are called an icon. Okay, so we're placing icons. At the start of every simulation, a UBIT spawns at port 0, right? Because the machine, as far as I understand it, can't do anything until UBITs go into it. And so you need one UBIT to come in from port 0 to start. But after that, stuff does not come in from port 0 unless you ask for it. Or at least that's true for the first puzzle. Maybe it'll change. When it reaches port 5, it's sent to signal 5. So like we have signal 0 input, signal 5 output, so we want to do this copy. So it says go ahead and draw some wires. Yeah, connect them, yep. And then the only part that I have right now is input. Input C, and there are variations, I don't know what that means yet. We can write input C, input A and B could happen, who knows. Every input port with a value and color provided by the respective signals. Don't know what that means. The screen pointers will shift one position to the right. Okay, I guess that's this basically saying it'll go over here. So you put one of these in here like they ask you to, and you have like stepping and go fasting and a debugger, which who knows. Icons, I don't know. Space, I don't know what any of this. Oh, these are like the things you get scored on at the leaderboards at the end. Okay. Who knows what matches is like how close you are to finishing the output correctly. So you can step and say, at step 1, 7 came in from the input, because that's the very first thing that ever happens is you get your first input. And then we could step again, and when we touch this, nothing happens yet, but next tick, we should be getting the next input, which should be 30. And I guess like these things have colors. It's gonna be like a red 30 or something. Nope. But it's yellow. Okay. It was hard to tell with the little box around it anyway. But okay, so we got a 30. And so when this 30 goes over here, well, first of all, we'll output the 7. So that's, I guess we're waiting to do that. They don't do that until the tick after they land, I guess. The same as this one. Yeah, so we output a 7 and we got a new 7 in. So we can hit play to do this, and it'll very slowly show us that we're doing the right thing. And so you can say, let's go faster, or let's go as fast as you can. And we solved the problem. And then there's some scores. So I don't know what this challenge mode thing is yet. You can look at like how you're doing. And by the way, this is an example of one of the things that I say looks like it was translated from Spanish. Is this N and then subscript O for like numero. We don't really do that in English. So I think that Spanish must be the native language of the developer. And the translation so far looks mostly fine. I have some things to quibble about, but I can understand it perfectly well. So the first thing I did after solving this was I said, well, wait a minute. I looked at the leaderboards and I said, well, couldn't we go faster if we did this? Request input every tick? But this actually is an incorrect solution. You do not get the right results. And the problem is each input touches all, each U-bit that we get touches all three of these request inputs. So like, for so we end up like reading too many bits, and like I guess we're requesting input from the port 2 different times, like 2 or up eventually 3 times on the same tick, and so who knows what we get. And if you run this, it just comes out as complete gobbledygook. You know, we get the 7, we get the 30, and then it's just all a mess. It looks like it might be adding up the things that we get, maybe? I don't know. Because the numbers that are coming in are bigger than the ones shown up here. Is it like the sum of all the things? I don't know. I bet that'll be an advanced technique we'll find out someday. But you can just do this to do like the obvious efficient thing of don't wait an extra tick. Like, don't have idle ticks. Request input as fast as you can. And so now there's just U-bits constantly streaming through there. And if we look... Okay, well, I'll show you the leaderboard in a sec. Well done, engineer. As you see, these segments are solved by redirecting U-bits from input ports to output ports, all while performing certain operations on them, something you'll be tackling shortly. Be careful not to overlook any information provided. You'll need all the help you can get. Please proceed, admin. So, right, you look here, and I'm now, like, in the normal percentile of things. I don't know if there's a way to further optimize that level. I don't see anything left of me. And I don't quite know what these, like, I'm at 96th percentile. Does that just mean, like, I don't know. It's a mystery. We may learn some more advanced techniques in the future that would let us improve this level some more. Like a way to get extra copies of a port or something. One thing I did want to check, though, is what happens if I do, like, this? What does the wire do? Like, which way does the qubit go when it has multiple directions from here? It goes that way. Why? I don't know. Presumably there is some reason, but I don't know it yet. So, adding circuit. This program combines the content of 2 signals. Add together S0 and S1, output it to S5, where S, I suppose, stands for signal. And if we look over here, it doesn't say signal anymore, it just says S. Like in the last puzzle, it did say signal 0 and signal 5. Fine, I assume these are S signals. Don't know what active necessarily means. Conveyors are available. U-bits merge and add their values, just like I was predicting earlier, if they meet at the same tile on the same cycle. The resulting U-bit will follow the direction of the previous U-bit with the greater value. Okay, that's complicated. Obviously, as it says, we can put in a conveyor to say exactly where things should go, but I assume this is a way to do like a compare and add. That's interesting. U-bits initially move in their spawn direction. Okay, don't know what that... Like, what dictates that spawn direction is to the right? Is this thing pointed right? Is there some way I could I make it point a different direction? I don't know. Oh, right. This is the miscellaneous, yeah. Selection. Left click on empty space to create a selection. So I can do this, and I can't copy these because you're not allowed to have multiple copies of a port. Fine, okay. And try to turn right Okay, I assume from relative to the direction of its previous travel. So I don't understand what its spawn direction means. Like, so far everything has been spawning to the right, but does it have to? I don't know. So what would happen if I just did this? When they meet at this port, will they not immediately merge and then also be output? We got a 60 and a 7, and they merged into a 60, so that doesn't seem right. Ah, stop. So, do I have to do... How do I put in a conveyor? What are these? Oh, okay, it's a conveyor A, whatever A means. Maybe it's on layer A, I don't know. In a direction down. Okay, so what is OE20? Nobody could possibly know that. I'm sure they'll tell me someday. I sort of wish this information were hidden from me until I knew what it meant. Is there some, like, hotkey? Can I press D? Nope, D is down here. Okay, well, I want a conveyor to the right. So... Okay, they don't add until the next tick. So when they merge, they're kind of both there. And then when they leave, they're merged, I guess. Yes, it is true that I forgot to ask for the next input. Okay, great. So we could do that here. But then we'd be asking for an input only after 2 ticks after the previous input came in. We would like to ask for an input immediately, right? Oh, right. I need a conveyor here to make sure they'll merge in the correct direction. But I don't need these to be adjacent to each other. What am I doing? I guess I want this, kind of? So that there's a little space where they can ask for another thing, like here. So we only want one of these. So this one coming in, they'll both be here, and then they'll request another one to follow them up, but they'll have moved on to here and gotten merged, right? Yeah, that's looking pretty good, I think. Okay, well, I don't know. Like, nobody would ever want to wait through all of this, so I don't know why it doesn't just automatically go to speed 999. But fine. Oh, so now we have 2 options. And how are we... So our cycle count is higher than the average idiot, huh? Our number of icons is higher because somebody found a way to do it. Well, sure. You don't actually need a conveyor, do you? Because you know you can do this without a conveyor. So let's go do that. I think that means we can cram things together more as well, right? Let's just erase everything. Because I think you can do, like, this. I don't really understand what this means. Okay, show me the level intro text again, please. Where did that go? I've forgotten here. What is the significance of this? It can't turn left, or it will prefer not to. I don't know. See, that isn't what I want. I don't really think I want that either. Because it might go the wrong way. Yeah. And then eventually it'll be correct. But I thought there should be some way... Right. Okay, yeah, stop. Stop, no, stop. How do I... Space? Okay. I think what I want is more like this. Where this one will want to continue straight, and this one will want to turn right, so no matter which of them is bigger, they'll head to the output. Right? Now, is this going to request input twice because 2 UBITs went there, or just once because they got merged on their way? It looks probably right, yeah? Yeah, that's doing the right thing. Okay. So we didn't need a conveyor there, we just had to order things more, or lay things out more deliberately to keep in mind that qubits want to turn right. They're UBITs, not qubits. And obviously, like, I'm not going to be the best player in the game. I'm not trying to be best on the leaderboards. I don't think I even really want to try to compete, whatever that would mean on the leaderboards. But I want to look at the leaderboards to inspire me to notice ways I could improve my puzzle, my solution, provided that I'm interested in that, basically. Caesar. This program conditionally captures the content of 2 signals. Okay, yeah, this is easy enough. So add the 2, and depending on which one is bigger, either output it or throw it away. And it says they'll never be the same. Remember, it follows the direction of the UBIT with the greater value. If the values are equal, the new direction will be random. Wow. Normal and paint modes? Okay, by paint mode, they just mean this. Got it. So instead of holding Alt, you can toggle with middle mouse. Fine. Yeah, I mean, I think I understand what this means. I'll figure out my own intersection designs, I guess. Yeah, so what is the debugger, actually? You get to... No? I don't know. By the way, the CRT effect on the corners of this is disorienting. Do not adjust your monitor. I'm seeing that too. I'm not complaining. It's just, you know, a bit jarring. I assume it's intended. Yeah, okay, whatever. All this stuff is great, I'm sure. Yeah, I can't delete these. So I need a recycler. And which one is bigger? Am I supposed to win what? If this is bigger, destroy it. So we actually want it more like this, right? And an input requester here. I think this is pretty much, yeah. So if 0 is bigger, nope, I read it wrong. If 0 is bigger, then when these two meet, it'll carry on in the direction 0 is going to the output, which is our goal. If 1 is bigger, destroy it. So it'll go that way. So this should be good, right? Yeah. Hard to imagine doing that one any better, right? Well, somebody knew how. How? How could you do this with fewer icons? You need an icon to request input. You can't do it without that, right? Is there some way you could avoid the recycler? Hard to imagine. Well, I wonder though. What if you did something like this? So that instead of recycling it, it just gets sent into a loop to run forever. What would happen to our poor machine as this stuff starts to build up? We'll be outputting the right results, but we're accumulating more and more junk up here. We've saved an icon, but will the program even know when it's finished? I don't know. It does. That does not seem like a very... I would think if you still have UBITs float... Well, okay. I guess from my very beginner perspective, it would seem that if UBITs are floating around, the program must not be finished, so you should wait. But I assume you at some point start getting UBITs that you aren't just like taking the input and doing something to it and producing the output. You have like control UBITs floating around, controlling the program in some other way. Synthetic UBITs that you create and that you want in a loop forever. I see. So this is a way to do it without the recycler. But it takes more space. I guess... Is B.space like our best space? I don't really understand what any of this means. Huh. Alright, so that's a neat technique to have learned, if we wanted it. Aggregator. This program generates a signal that is the cumulative sum of another one. Ooh, we must have a way to copy things then. For each target value in S5, output the cumulative sum of values from S0. Begin by sending the first value from 0 to 5, then each subsequent value should be added to the previous output, and then transmit. Yeah, scroll mid-mouse over items with label variations. What? Okay. Ah, this is how we change their spawn direction. Okay, got it. This duplicates something. Got it. Copy moves in the direction of the arrow. If there's no wire in that direction, or if the direction matches that of the original qubit, which I guess is still being... So the original qubit continues along its path, regardless of which way this arrow is pointing. The duplicate goes out in the direction the arrow is pointing. Fine. So, I can see, I think, how to do this, and it should be fairly simple. But I wonder if there's a way to do it more efficiently, because what I'm imagining is something like, I don't know, this, where is that what I mean? I want a loop where this thing gets looped back in with itself, right? So like, yeah, maybe. So send, no, this is not gonna work. Is it? Probably is, actually. Something like this, where we request input here and then meet up with it, right? So the first one goes out, and we copy that first one and send it here. And then it arrives here. Maybe I need to move this over. I'm not totally sure. No, this is right, I think. So then we have the cumulative sum appears here and merges with the previous guy. We output a duplicate of the, well, we output actually the cumulative sum, and then the duplicate goes into this loop. Is that right? So we output a 4. Yeah. So this is right. Yes? It looks right. I don't really understand what these diagrams indicate or how. I have no idea what these colors and bars mean. But, you know, stuff seems to be happening. The machine is happy. So, my problem with this is that it's pretty slow, right? We don't get a new input. We get a new input like every 4 ticks, right? Because that's how big our loop is. And in some sense, a loop can't be any smaller than 4. But it can be because it said qubits will turn around if they reach the end of the line. So in principle, maybe we could do this with a smaller loop somehow. I could go look at the leaderboards and see if people have done it, but I suspect they have. And I'd like to think for myself about it first. Because it seems like the problem is, how could you ever get a bit onto this kind of double-headed, you know, bouncy back and forthy machine-y, right? There must be, like, let's say it were this long. There must be some path onto it. But I guess if you did this, yeah, if you did something like this, you could inject a qubit, a U-bit, and it would come in and then start bouncing back and forth between these. It would never try to go back out. So, well, I'll tell you what, let's save this. I'm going to endeavor not to look at the leaderboards here. My hand is covering them. Oh my god, I have to read. Excellent work. Each solution you find is like a spark, igniting the circuits of this nascent system. We are only at the beginning, but already I can feel the potential growing. Your efforts are invaluable. Oh, notice that some icons are not recommended, indicating it's too early to use them. While you're free to do so, I advise against it, but honestly, who's going to stop you? Please proceed. Yeah, so I want to create a second save slot for this problem, so that I don't have to, like, erase the previous one. So my idea was something like this, where bits come in this way, and they get, like, duplicated to go to the output and to request another input? Hey, is there an undo? Yeah, there is, okay. Meant to put it here. So my idea here is that we would, if we look at the wire view, the first qubit is going to come down this way and go here. Ah, there could be a problem? No. Because, well, I think I want to make, I don't know, I feel like I want that. I don't know why exactly. I want, so the qubit that comes in, the UBIT, should always be duplicated left. Well, and what's here is not just what came in, it's the sum, right? So I guess I could just step through this, but I want, like with the step thing, but I want to work through it in my head. A bit comes in, it goes here. Then it goes right to the output, but also over here, requesting an input. It arrives here together with the next input, and we get their sum duplicated to here and here, asking for another input. So yeah, I think this actually should work. Let's find out if I'm right. Oh, I never noticed. It actually says 5, 4, telling you there's 2 things there. Okay, nice. And 9 should come out to the left and right? Oh, so good. All right, what kind of next level genius am I, you might ask? How could anybody be so smart at a video game? Great. So if we look, yeah. So I guess save slot 1 is here. Save slot 0 is here. Is that what I'm learning, or no? I don't know. No, I didn't. Well, okay, whatever. All right, so I don't really understand how to correlate these diagrams to various save slots. Are we like, how long have I been recording? Is it time for a break? Yeah, we could maybe do one more. Huh. Okay, cool. Well, I'm glad I figured out that idea for a smaller loop. Very pleased with that. Modulator. This program combines 2 raw signals to generate a modulated one based on a predetermined formula. Add 5 to 0. Subtract 5 from 1 and double it, then add the results of those 2 operations. Hang on, let's do some algebra on that. We have x plus 5 plus 2y minus 10? We can have arranged to have only one constant, is my point. Because the 5 and the 10, like, don't we just have S0 plus double S1 minus 5? I think so. So we can... do one fewer 5? Well, actually, what's the deal? How do these things that make numbers work? We have an adder that takes a constant. I see. So it's an icon that when a UBIT passes through it, a constant is added or subtracted. And we don't even need subtractors because our adders can be negative. Fine. Okay, what the hell is this? Now that we understand... Okay, take this away. Input A, input C. So these appear to be... This is input A, this is input C, and I guess that would be input B? I don't know how I'm supposed to correlate the pictures, but okay, fine. The not recommended ones we can have if we want now. I see. Interesting. Okay, well, we'll leave those alone for now. There's way too many to go exploring and see what might be useful to me at this moment. What were the earlier ones? Right, Caesar was like a filter. When we added, how did that work? So how did this get us input from both of these, 0 and 1, I guess is my question. Because it's an input C, UBIT on every input port. Okay. So what is input A about? Ah. So A says you can okay, so A lets you specify which port you want an input from, and B lets you specify you want an input but don't even delete it. Just like it's like a peek as opposed to a pop. Okay. Interesting. So I don't quite understand how to set... Oh, it said I could just, like, set this right. Like, I said 2? Ah. Okay, cool. So I think I just want... What the hell? My game crash? Why is it... Does OBS want my attention? 1 sec. Alright, well... I don't know what's going on. OBS is showing me a yellow exclamation point. I'm a little worried something bad is going to happen if I keep recording. And we're still at the beginning of exploring how this new stuff works. So I'm going to call it a day after that last puzzle after all. And I'll get back to you guys tomorrow with new videos once I figured out what OBS wants. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.